The benefits are many. There's evidence that being in a group and interacting with people who might be different from you, who might have other ideas, actually contributes to the development of higher intellectual skills. You develop the language, actually, because group work you have to talk. My study actually shows that. I did a big study on that there is very serious language development in group work, and also content development, because you're faced with much more with issues and problems that are much closer to real life than something that you respond to in a book. But I think that most importantly, the benefits are for what we contribute as schools to producing more capable, more social, deeper thinking people. First and foremost, I think, when you have a round table or a table and you just tell the kids to sit around the table, but basically they still keep doing that individual kind of work, right? And I do question number 5, what's the answer? And you tell me 67, and I write 67. And they call that group work. That's a huge mistake. For me and my goal basically in building democratic classrooms is to make sure that the participation of the kids in the groups is equitable, that there isn't someone who dominates the group and someone who's cut out from the interaction in the group. What the teachers, I think, need to figure out is how to take the opportunity to address the issues of unequal participation. And that we also model, as teachers, we model the kind of language, the kind of ways of interacting that we expect the students to interact. I would say, instead of how do we deal with the heterogeneity, I would say how do we benefit from the heterogeneity? How do we take advantage of the richness that all these different kids bring to the classroom? And if we're able to do that, if we're able to recognize the word that they use a lot is the assets, right? So everybody brings an asset. Then I think we're better off. So looking at the kid for what they can do rather than what they cannot do, that's how we get the benefit of heterogeneity. I still think that sometimes teachers have to lecture. There's information that they have to give. My advice is not to lecture more than 15 minutes, maximum. And if you lecture for 15 minutes, not to have more than 4 slides in the PowerPoint. And not to read the PowerPoint, but to have images. But what the teacher does when the kids are in group work, number one, the very important thing that the teacher does is she prepares the task. Okay, she has to really think about what is a task that really needs a group. And then to observe the kids a lot, to look around and give constant feedback. You asked a great question. You performed your role really well. Oh, wow, that's a real strong contribution to the task. This group is amazing. Look at their product. Okay, so feedback. Well, it's not easy. It's not a magic pill. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It actually, like with the students, it takes the teachers to try things, to be observed, and to be given feedback. Try thing again, get an observations from a mentor, from somebody, from a colleague, and try again. And it's a learning process. It's a learning process. It does not happen overnight, although everybody would love it for it to happen overnight. I get frustrated when I hear that teachers are being blamed for all the problems, right? I think that teachers, they do the best they can under very difficult conditions for very little money. And that's true in the US, that's true in Brazil, it's not true in Finland, and it's not true in Singapore, but hey, we're here. So what I'm saying is that what we need to do is not fix the individual teacher, but we have to enrich their repertoire. We have to give them more tools. We have to treat them as professionals and share with them the knowledge base, because there is a serious knowledge base, that has good theoretical work and empirical evidence for what works. So let's not give the teachers recipes, but enrich them, teach them.